shrieking on my size, the trap between the thighs. Bitches be cray cray, she claimed that she looking as pretty cray. Extra, extra, read all about it. Crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news. It's all in lies, somewhere between the lies. The shrinking of her size, the trap between the thighs. Bitches be cray cray, she craving, she looking as pretty cray. Extra, extra, read all about it. Crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news. It plays crazy bitch news.
Hi, it's me. Yes, it's Crazy Bitch News. It was an old segment I did for that Men Are Talking show that briefly ran way back when. Well, there's quite a few of these stories, so I thought, hey, this could deserve its own category and theme song. So I put that together, and it took a lot longer than I anticipated, but nevertheless, it got done. And so that'll be the feature for tonight's Nailsin News, Crazy Bitch News. So don't worry, we'll get back to stories involving men. There's plenty of those some other time, but here I did the photoshops and stuff for them and all that. And that's going to be great, I suspect. Dominic says, my Nailga. Oh, that's me. Nodak says, hit the like button. And he's so right. You're going to want to do that. And Pell says, hi, everyone. Well, that's nice. So here we are, all in our places with sunshiny faces. And, that should be cool. I'm just making sure I can be heard. Yes, I can. So that's great. You never know with these things. So anyway, now I shall switch to, can I do this? I'm not entirely certain. Well, that's odd. Crap. Oh yeah, I know what I got to do. Okay. Huh? Oh wait, no, I'm gonna want it like that. And then, yeah, there. So it'd be like this. That's not going to. Okay. All right. That should put it in the position that I need, but I can't put the article in now. Damn it. There's got to be the capture. Oh, well, that means I'll have to go in and add it in later when I edit this. See, I was going to do it where, see, that's the Photoshop, and I would have it over the article and all that stuff, but I don't know. It's not working on this level here, which also enables the super tips, which would be really cool. But don't worry. Please do send a super tip, should you so desire, and I will get to them. Just not during, the news segments. Yeah, what a bummer. All right, we'll go back to Illinois, and Don't worry, you'll meet her later. And you know what? After I'm done with all the news articles, I'll give you a tour of the Photoshop characters that I developed for these. Because after I'm done, provided time, I then take this show and break it up into individual news segments and pepper that out throughout my channel later on. You know, hey, it's fun. I mean, it takes a lot of time, but you know, there's some fun there. All right, let's get started for this particular story. Woman walks 16 miles just to stab her father because she believed he was the devil. Well, was he? What do you think? A 34-year-old Wisconsin woman, Jamie Anderson, is accused of attempting to kill her father following a 16-mile walk to his home. Allegedly, Anderson claimed she hallucinates and believed her father was the devil. As reported by WISC, W-I-S-C, citing a criminal complaint, the incident took place back on July 1st, 2025, while at his Stroughton home in Wisconsin. Anderson's father heard someone knocking at his door. It was his daughter, Jamie Anderson, who had allegedly walked 16 miles from her Madison home. The criminal complaint alleged that Anderson expressed wanting to stop hallucinating and then asked her father for a hug. The man agreed, only for Anderson to allegedly attempt to stab him in the head while the man asked her if she was on drugs. As per the complaint, the stabbing attempts continued. Eventually, Anderson's father managed to escape by pushing her over a coffee table, as per the document. Then he called 911, and responding officers met him outside his home. Bloodied, the father told the police that his daughter was still inside the home. She actually came here to kill me, the father allegedly told police. Upon entering the residence, police found Anderson walking down some stairs. At the time, she was allegedly holding a bright orange knife. Do they mean like the handle was orange, I guess? Was the whole blade orange? I mean, she dropped the knife when instructed and was arrested. Well, there you go. At that moment, according to the complaint, Anderson allegedly told the officers that she suffers from hallucinations. As a result, she believed that her father was the devil and decided to walk the 16 miles to kill him. She then allegedly admitted to slashing him approximately 4 times. WISC reported that the man had to undergo surgery on his arm and get staples in his head as a result of the alleged attack. Allegedly, the man told police that drugs had cooked his daughter's mind. Jamie Anderson was charged with 1 count of first-degree attempted intentional homicide by use of a dangerous weapon. That would be the knife, with domestic abuse assessments. Her bond was set at $500,000 during an initial court appearance. She has been ordered to have no contact with her father. By the way, if you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence, you can reach the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233. You can also chat with a representative at thehotline.org or by texting START, that's START, to 88788. You know, just in case your daughter shows up at the door with a knife, particularly an orange one, claiming you're the devil, and starts slashing at you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. When it gets to that point, you're going to need a lot more than a helpline, but nevertheless, there's someone to talk to. But yeah, you think she's still in the will? Yeah. Oh well, maybe he's right. The drugs cooked her brain. Plus, there's the added thing. Look, I have hallucinations. Well, she already has the awareness that whatever her visions are or whatever are not real. So what's going on here? Yeah. So sure, there's crazy, and then there's really crazy. Well, they'll figure it out. Pell, her father was George Burns. Oh, you mean that old God? See, he played God in the old God movies with John Denver. Then there was Old God 2, which I don't remember a whole lot. And I think there was an Old God 3. It was called Oh God, You Devil. So then George Burns played God and the devil. It was an interesting choice that God and the devil would look exactly alike, but that's what they did. So I don't know. Maybe this guy does look like George Burns. Dominic, at least she got her steps in. Well, that's true. She got quite the workout. A lot of times just, if you don't have time to get really serious about exercise, at least take time to take a walk, And boy, did she. Then, of course, she had the extra workout of trying to stab her father and all that. So, oh, yeah. A lot of physical activity. Pell, there should be meds for that. Well, but he's already concerned that drugs cooked her brain, Dominic, I would walk 16 miles and I would walk 16 more to be the woman that killed her father at his door. Hey, that sounds like a song. Pell, she looks like she'd be fun and bit. Oh, well, you know it. But the problem is, don't fall asleep. I want to make sure there's no sharp objects nearby and all that. Pell, drunks get wet brain. I wonder if drugs do the same or if they call it something else. Liquid brain, moisture on the brain. Cocteau, good evening. Good evening, Cocteau. Dominic can't believe she hallucinated that the devil was her father. Glad she caught on. I know. What are the odds? He's like, damn, how'd she figure it out? It's just, convenient coincidence, I guess. Pell, I'm glad you're intelligent to get my dumb, obscure references. Why, thank you. Obscure, perhaps. Dumb, well. Cocteau, Oh God 2, The Quickening. Really? Was it? I don't. So anyway, good luck, Jamie. I don't know how Father's Day is going to go next year, but well, again, she says, "Hey, I was hallucinating. Cut me some slack here," and they probably figure, "Well, all right." No, well, maybe. Can't I get a deal? I just thought he was the devil, but it turns out he just had a really severe sunburn, and that explains all the redness and everything. Sure. Oh, well, meanwhile, elsewhere in the world, teen on trial for killing her baby. Once said murder was her favorite birth control. A Florida college student who is on trial for killing her newborn baby girl said in text messages that her favorite type of birth control is to kill the kid. Brianne Moore was 19 when she gave birth to a baby in her college dorm bathroom in April 2024. Hours later, she disposed of the deceased baby in the trash. Moore claimed she did not know she was pregnant or was in denial about it, and did not kill the baby, whom she claims died on her own. However, a medical examiner ruled the cause of death as homicide. In text messages dated 7 months before the birth, Moore talked to a male named Kasim from her home state of Mississippi. The pair discussed a Plan C option of birth control as killing the child, which Moore called her favorite. So the conversation went like this. Hey, man, sometimes you need a Plan C. Kasim responds, Plan A was condoms. Plan B was the pill. Plan C was to kill the kid. Moore respond, Plan C is my favorite. Jonah Dickstein, Moore's attorney, claims the texts are taken out of context and were generally about abortion laws. Oh, yeah. Dixon also says the male is not the father of the now deceased baby girl. Boy, she was two-timing him too, huh? But of course, he seemed down with the plan. But anyway, according to the Tampa Bay Times, Moore says she woke up on April 27th, 2024, when her water broke, but had previously been unaware she was pregnant. Attending the University of Tampa at the time, she went to her dorm room bathroom and secretly gave birth to the baby girl. Moore claimed she laid the baby down and took a shower. You know, what else you gotta do? She then told police the baby wasn't moving and she didn't hear a heartbeat and got scared. So, of course, you called 911 for help, right? Moore then allegedly wrapped the baby in a towel, took a nap, and said the baby still wasn't breathing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know where you get the idea of wrapping a baby in the towel would get its heart to beat. But anyway, about an hour later, she apparently disposed of the baby in a dumpster outside her dorm room at McKay Hall. So she didn't know she was pregnant, but she was talking about, earlier. Yeah. Well, okay. A medical examiner who performed the autopsy on the baby girl said there were small hemorrhages on her lungs and found the child died from asphyxia due to compression of the torso with rib fractures. Moore is facing 30 years behind bars. She's been charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child neglect, failure to report a death, and unlawful storage, preservation, or transportation of human remains. Well, I didn't know and stuff. I was only kidding about Plan C and stuff. Well, boy, oh boy. The letter C does come to mind in this situation. But not really buying any of it. She just went with Plan C. Yeah. After all, it was her favorite. Plaid Core says Burns and Allen was a great show once a long time ago. Dominic looks like Deb. Oh, now. Pellel, this is a hack joke stolen and twisted. Boo it, daddy's horns don't mean he's the devil. Just means, oh, now, Pellel. Cocktoe has a rectangle. Dominic Dick Stain doing my best. Dick Stain doing my best Beavis and Butthead. Dick Stain. Yeah, she was stained with Dick. Hello, how can you be unaware? Don't the bibby kick more than just cramps? MKE would have liked to feel that belly. Oh yeah. Well, she's a very thin girl. So yeah, that would be more obvious. Some of these women that are, enormous, some of those situations are believable, because good God, they're dealing with all kinds of cramps and stuff, carrying that load. And then all of a sudden, what? Dominic, she said, no baby of mine is going to be born a Dick Stain. Well, I guess so, but then that all of them would. Pell, how was that not premeditated? Yeah, I know. They just look. It's easier if you just take the plea. Okay, I'll take it, and manslaughter. Pell, wow, biggest dead eyes I think I've ever seen. Oh yeah, there's no soul in that thing. Which is, they do have the death penalty in Florida. They are using it lately. So, but she's not going to face it. Hey, she's just a girl herself. She was laughing about it. Come on. Dominic, she's a real jerk. Well, she did more than jerk it. So, yeah, she's going to do 30 years, which means she'll probably be out 15. Yeah. I was lost and I was abused by the men in my life and stuff like that. And so she just had to throw her baby into the trash, of course, after, squeezing it till it stopped breathing. Yeah. Because she was depressed. All her relationships weren't good and they didn't fulfill her. And she felt lost and lonely and lacking direction and blah, 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 blah. Oh, well. Hey, guess what? A certain mystery has been solved. Missing head of boyfriend murdered and dismembered by Beauty and the Geek star Tamika Chesser has been found by dog walker. I'm guessing the dog found it first, but I don't know. Let's see. So, yes, the missing head of a boyfriend who was allegedly murdered and dismembered by his Beauty and the Geek star girlfriend has been found. The loose dome, that's not a great way to put it, but anyway, belonged to Julian Story, 39, who was allegedly killed by partner Tamika Chesser, 34, in South Australia. So, there's girlfriend. Yeah. Well, oh, good Lord. Well, obviously not real, but still, yeah, something really put him in a trance, and he didn't see the monster within, and that's sad. Hey, oh, wait a minute. Boy, she's still working on her face and everything. Good Lord. Yeah, she's nuts. There's the unfortunate boyfriend, ironically posed with a dog. So anyway, a dog and its owner walking through scrubland in Port Lincoln, about 250 kilometers. That's 155 miles west of Adelaide, made the grisly discovery when the pooch ran off and didn't return. You mean just left and the guy just happened to find the head? Or the dog took off and he went looking for the dog and, oh, look what the dog found and is playing with. Oh, good Lord. So, South Australia police major crime boss, crime boss. So Darren Filkey, boss of the mob there, said earlier today police received information about a member of the public in Port Lincoln that they had located in a scrub area what appeared to be a human skull. There are some walking tracks through there. My understanding is the person who contacted us today was walking their dog in the area. The dog ran off into the scrub. It didn't come back when called. They had to walk into the scrub area to find the head. The remains were not buried. They were quite out in the open. And just now found it, Anyway, the remains are now set to be tested and forensically confirmed as those of Julian's. Felke said Julian's family have been contacted today and provided an update in relation to what has been located and what the ongoing process is from here. Hopefully we can give them some comfort that we have found all the remains of Julian. Well, officers made the grim discovery last month after responding to reports of a small fire. Chesser was arrested 2 days later under the Mental Health Act and charged with murder. Cops are yet to interview her with the reality TV star being kept in a mental health facility. So she's too cray-cray to be interviewed, I guess. She appeared in Port Lincoln Magistrates Court via video link on Thursday for 3 separate matters. You mean beyond the murder? Last month, police circulated CCTV footage and stills of a woman alleged to be Chesser strolling through Port Lincoln hours after the alleged murder. The woman was seen with 3 dogs dressed head to toe in black with a head covering. She doesn't like her nose. That's why she had it done. Is that a Minnie Mouse thing? I don't know. Court documents reveal officers found Chesser sitting in the back garden of the property in a catatonic and unresponsive state before arresting her. Oh, boy. Oh, there she is. There's the woman of death. Good Lord, completely in black with her hellhounds. That's horror movie looking stuff there. She's also been charged with disposing of human remains to pervert the course of justice and assaulting a police officer. Police said there's no obvious motive, with Assistant Commissioner Ian Parrott admitting there were still a lot of unanswered questions in what he described as a complex crime scene. Chesser's sister, Kaya May, claimed her family is shattered by reports she'd been charged with murder. They told Daily Mail Australia, "Please report how my sister is in a mental psychosis. This is not her. She would never do these things." Well, she could be possessed. She added her sister had suffered a life of trauma and abuse. And now this. It has fried her brain. Meanwhile, Mr. Story's grieving family has thanked police, emergency workers, and the community for their support during what they call an unimaginable loss. Yeah, that's... Well, Chesser appeared on season 2 of the hit show in 2010, aged just 19. Okay. Oh, that's it? Well, all right. So she was on that show, Beauty and the Geek. I guess, she was the beauty. I don't, was he the geek in the show? I don't know. And, probably thought this was going to be the springboard to wealth and fame and all that, and movies and whatnot. And then it didn't happen. And, she's in her mid-30s. Starting to really click in. And, she lost her mind. And since she lost her head, she decided he should lose his too. Sure, mental illness, no doubt. That might explain things, but it'll never excuse it. So there you go. And then plus, she dressed up like the Grim Reaper, which, all right, odds are that's appropriate because of what you're about to do, but still. She should never get out, you know. Plaid Cord says, Norm. Was he involved in this? Pell Dog Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah. It's the dog. I don't know. They said the dog disappeared. I was thinking the guy went to get his dog and the dog is like playing with the head, you know, because that sort of scenario has happened a lot. But apparently it sounds like they never found the dog. So where did the dog go? You know? I don't know. But you might want to stay away from scrubland. SP4H, that's her. I can fix her. Well, good luck. She's in the loony bin in Australia. And, she might get out. They'll say, well, she was crazy, but we fixed her. And then, you can show up and say, I'll fix her. Now she's cured. But again, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep. Dominic, did she suffocate him? Yeah, see, it could have been an accident. Pell, I see two big reasons she's not guilty. Yeah, you see, boy, that's going to be tough to get a jury that can objectively view the facts of the case and blah, blah, blah. Look, I know it's bad and it's sad about the guy and all that, but come on. She's pretty. Pat DeRose Scrubland sounds nice. Well, except for all the human remains, you know. But I'm guessing they scrubbed it since, so that should work out. I don't know. But anyway, good luck to all involved. Well, maybe not all, maybe, but jeez. But anyway, dogs, they sure do come in handy when you're dealing with crime. Anyway, you really got to be careful with who you share your living space with. It's important because prisoner beat cellmate to death after imagining she used her toothbrush to clean the toilet. Now, look, an argument can be made. That's pretty nasty. Enough of a rage to kill. But you might want to make sure it actually happened, So there we go. A woman incarcerated at a Wisconsin prison has been handed a life sentence without the chance of parole for beating her cellmate to death 2 years ago. Taylor Sanchez, 29, pled no contest last month to killing her cellmate, 68-year-old Cindy Schultz. Judas or Jude? I don't know. At the Takeda Correctional Institution. Judge Trissa Walker called the attack wholly vicious as she sentenced Sanchez on Monday. No contest plea indicated Sanchez would not fight the charges, but would not admit fault either. Well, the Independent has contacted Sanchez's public defender, Michael Queensland, for comment. And did he respond? I guess not. Anyway, prison staff found Schultz Judas dead in her cell, surrounded by a pool of blood in July 2023. Sanchez, who was the only other person in the cell, informed police she was hearing voices that told her to kill Schultz Judas, according to court documents. Sanchez later called her mother, explaining She thought Schultz Judas used her toothbrush to clean the toilet. See, that's why she's pleading no contest. All right, I'm not going to fight this, but I was in the right here. I like keeping my teeth clean. And you can't do that when it's been scrubbing a toilet. I stopped taking my meds and I started hearing voices again, Sanchez said. Well, that's what happens when you stop taking your meds. I thought she was using my toothbrush to scrub the toilet. I thought she was using my stuff to wipe the floor with. And I thought she was messing with me. Well, how big is this cell? The two of you are there all the time. How's she going to, trick you? If she was doing this, she'd have done it right in front of you, you stupid idiot. Meds. Schultz Judas suffered skull fractures too numerous to count. I guess they stopped at, 100 or whatever. She also sustained 34 rib fractures, bruises, and other. Good Lord, this girl beat the living crap. Well, yeah, beat her to death. So Sanchez changed her plea on June 30th after originally pleading not guilty due to insanity. She was originally serving a 2-year sentence for battery in Kenosha. Boy, that victim got off easy, huh? Because then she was going to get out, in 2 years. And now, well, for Cindy's sacrifice, she'll never get out, Every victim matters, regardless of their status or if they're serving a criminal sentence. Fond du Lac County District Attorney Eric Toney said in a statement, this defendant brutally murdered her cellmate and created dangerous risks for other inmates and correctional officers. That's another thing. I guess she's going to serve out her life sentence in solitary because she'll murder her cellmate, We will continue to protect our correctional officers and all those within our community, regardless of where they reside. We hope this sentence sends a strong message to inmates that there are consequences for committing crimes in our prisons. The whole point of going to prison is to stop committing crimes. Why can't you guys get that? She's been through hell, and then it ended like that. She was serving a life sentence. Oh. So what did she do to get that? I'm guessing she killed somebody. Oh, boy. So anyway, Schultz Judas was here we go. Convicted in 2021 of being party to first-degree intentional homicide and resisting or obstructing an officer. These charges came in connection with the 2006 fatal shooting of her husband, Kenneth Judas. She was sentenced to life in prison without the chance of parole and diddy-diddy-do. And then Taylor showed up and upgraded her sentence to death, I guess. Prosecutors said Schultz Judas found her husband dead the morning after he was shot. She told police she was sleeping in a camper outside their home and went inside the house to check on him, thinking he overslept and was late for work. Prosecutors argued she was motivated by money, citing her husband's insurance policies that totaled more than $900,000. Well, look where that got you. Yeah. Locked up with some crazy bitch who became convinced you were cleaning your shared toilet with her toothbrush. But, she wanted the 900,000, so she took a chance. She gambled. She lost. Nonak says, if it was an episode of CSI, the dog owner would be playing fetch. Throws the stick, dog runs off, and then comes back with an arm. Then Caruso comes, takes sunglasses off, says he had a rough day. Yeah! Yeah, that's how it would go. Boy, this is starting out to be a rough day. That's how it would go, David Caruso. Remember briefly when he was the talk of the town? He had that gig on NYPD Blue. And they all made a big deal about him, like he was the next greatest actor of all time. So he got all fat headed and quit the show as soon as he could because he was going to be a movie star. And then he did some crappy movie that was, it was like one of those Friday night Cinemax movies. Jade or something. I don't know. And then that was it. And suddenly he showed up on another crime show. You know, probably stealing Shatner's post as people make fun of his acting style, but Shatner's leaps and bounds superior to David Caruso. So I don't know. It's one of those weird stories. Hello, movie with Nicolas Cage too. IIRC. Not familiar, but Nicolas Cage. Now there's a good pairing, actually. I might have to look that up. But anyway, he was on a hit show. There was all this accolades for him, and he probably should have stayed put. But this happens quite a bit with these stars who get, fat-headed. At least that guy who did the Northern Exposure show, remember him? And the whole show was about him being, this New York doctor, and he had to pay off his student loan because it was sponsored by that town. So he had to work there and all that for a while. And of course, it was completely surreal and nuts and everything. But then he got fat-headed and thought he was going to become a big new movie star. And he did that, quiz show movie. And then that was it. He was done. And then the show spiraled and ended because the main focus was between him and Janine Turner's character. Oh, Janine Turner, that was sweet. Yeah. Yeah, gosh, she was nice. But anyway, he ruined the whole show when he quit because he thought he was going to become a big deal movie star. Where is he now? I don't know. But again, everything's a risk. Everything's a gamble. They gambled. They lost. Parallel IIRC, if I recall correctly. Oh, really? That's the name of the movie? Okay. No, that Kiss of Death. Was that the one? I thought it was called Jade something, or maybe he did too, but it went nowhere. Was it worth it giving up your safe gig at NY? And then Dennis Franz took over the show and did pretty good. That ran for quite a while. So who knew? Everybody wanted to see Dennis Franz bare ass, I guess. Pellel, did YouTube nuke my something? Oh, turd toothbrush comment? I don't know. YouTube? I mean, yeah, I'm not seeing it here. I'm reading everything here in my EV Mux thingy majiggy, which should show all of the chat wherever you are, Rumble or YouTube. So maybe they did. I don't know. Nodak Nicolas Cage bench presses a stripper and had to eat with plastic silverware because he couldn't stand metal touching his teeth. Oh, well, that's an interesting condition. Nodak, he also did. Jade. Okay, Jade, Kiss of Death was the Nicolas Cage movie. Okay. So Nicolas Cage was the star, not David Caruso. Joe Lamont. Hello. I am Indiana? Oh, in. Okay. Hello. Pellel, Sensodyne toothbrush. I said Murdadyne. Oh. So Murdadyne. So going with the idea that the toothbrush was the motive for the murder. Joe Lamont says, that's what I told her anyway. Hello at Nodak. Wasn't Cage's character a bad asthmatic? Joe Lamont, we're discussing toothbrushes. Well, earlier I discussed a story where a woman murdered her cellmate, who was doing a life sentence for murder, because she believed the woman had used her toothbrush to clean the toilet. At least that's what she says. Her other excuse, she's off her meds, so she was hallucinating or some crap. And so now, when she was only serving a 2-year sentence, now she's in there for life. So the next cellmate could kill her for abusing a toothbrush. I don't know. I suppose they could examine the toothbrush to see if there's any urine or fecal matter in it. Say, oh my God. But you're still doing that life sentence because it's still murder. No matter where you live. Because we're just that good. Something like that. Anywho. Well, that was that crazy bitch. But you know what we really want to talk about? Teacher sex scandals. Oh, yes. Well, some of these go back a ways. I somehow missed them, but you think you got away? You think you can get away from Nailsin News? No one escapes Nailsin News. No one. So, yeah. Another teacher screwing her student. Conestoga teacher? Okay. Michelle Mercogliano has been arrested. Why? Well, guess what? A 35-year-old Pennsylvania teacher has been arrested for having sex with a student with whom she repeatedly messaged during a police investigation. Well, during the investigation about their alleged relationship, she couldn't stop it. She had to message him. Okay. All right. Michelle Megliano of Phoenixville had a sexual relationship with a student at Conestoga High School, where she worked as a teacher beginning February 2025 in Chester County District Attorney's office. The district attorney said the alleged victim told detectives that his communication and relationship with Mercogliano outside of class began early in the school year when he was late for school. He said, you're going to have to wait after class. You've been a bad boy. And Mercogliano asked one of his friends for his Snapchat handle. Mercogliano messaged the student to offer them. Is this a they-them thing? Uh-oh. Anyways, you offered him a ride. The victim said he had sexual intercourse with Mercogliano approximately 12 times, and that Mercogliano performed oral flags on him on a similar number of occasions. So 12 of those. Wow. The first time the two had sex was at the victim's home in Wayne. The victim said that Mercogliano would secretly pick him up in the back parking lot of apartments near Conestoga High School and would drive him to his home or to a local marijuana dispensary in Phoenixville. The teacher would buy the marijuana and give it to the child. Mercogliano has given the victim marijuana about once a week since last December. Usually, you take him to McDonald's and, get some fries and stuff. No. All about the weed. Mercogliano and the alleged victim would then smoke the marijuana together and have sex. The alleged victim's father found medical marijuana. Oh, well, then it's medical. It's perfectly all right. And with Mercogliano's name, jeez, on the label in the bedroom closet. The alleged victim's sister told their parents about the sexual relationship happening between Mercogliano and her sibling. Jeez Louise, did the sister walk in on this one day? Police learned of the conduct earlier this week, quickly launched a thorough investigation, and immediately worked with the whatever, Easttown School District to prevent the defendant from having further contact with students. Parents and students should be able to trust their teachers. Chester County District Attorney Christopher L. Barrera, the DA. The defendant broke the law and destroyed that trust. It will not be tolerated. Mercogliano was charged with what? Institutional sexual assault, corruption of minors, delivery of a controlled substance, and other related offenses. The defendant has not yet been arrested, but is cooperative and arranging an appropriate time to turn herself in via her attorney. Well, they can't find her? I mean, I'll come in eventually. Well, all right then. But hey, it was a medical marijuana. Look, she had the prescription. It's on the up and up, right? Yeah. And maybe her student, had a headache. And she said, you know what I do for headaches? I smoke weed. Weed? What is it? Well, some call it marijuana, but I call it weed. It's a real lifesaver when I have a headache going into work. All right, let's try it. And then they both lost their headaches. And, when you don't have a headache, you're in the mood for one thing led to another. And oopsie, it's really as innocent as that, because accidents do happen. Toothbrushes. Joe Lamont, did she kill her with the toothbrush? Nope. Well, maybe it did come into play, but multiple skull fractures, too many to count. I forget what number I don't guess they said, but they said they stopped counting at some point. And then, I don't know, nearly 40 fractures in her ribs. So I don't know if a toothbrush can do that much damage, but fist can. And apparently that's what happened. Anyway, Nodak Oddly Caruso was the star of Kiss of Death. What the hell? Helen Hunt was his wife. Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Rappaport, Stanley Tucci, and Ving Rhames were also in Kiss of Death. Yeah, well. Joe Lamont, what you do in Vegas stays on Nailsin News. Oh, yeah, it's not going to escape. I'm going to find out. Nodak, it will escape. What am I saying? Nodak, yeah, he was at Pell. In the movie, yeah. So he was the star. See, Nicolas Cage, but Nicolas Cage it's a bigger name than David Caruso for different reasons. But they thought he was big shit at the time, Dominic the teacher wouldn't get with me if I was tardy. Yeah, where were these bitches when we were in school? Pell sounds like the kid trusted her more than most. He's like, oh, wow, I can't believe this is happening. Pell kid dropped more loads than Carm at middle age. That's what I hear. Nodak, I remember, I think it was in the late 90s or 2000s. There was a commercial for a glue stick looking thing that you were supposed to rub on your forehead to cure headaches. Am I hallucinating that? No, that does sound familiar. I don't think it was glue, though. That would be hilarious. This will solve your... Okay. It won't come off. Well, you're not thinking about the headache anymore, are you? It hurts worse. Oh. Well, look, we tried. Pella at Nodak, I kind of remember that with magnets. Oh, yeah. Seems like that's the thing, too. Like the magnetic force. was somehow going to cure your headache. Maybe draw it out like those girls who always believe in, what is it, Reiki or something? I'm pulling the negative energy out. It's just whatever, as long as you're, touching me all the time and stuff, So, Joel Lamont, I remember that glue stick looking thing. Yeah. I guess it's not around anymore. I guess it didn't work. You just, take Tylenol, aspirin. If you can, take a nap. That's what I do. But a lot of times the headache hits me when the nap's not available. And it's like the ibuprofen, which is my pill of choice when it comes to that. Without the nap part, it doesn't always work. Oh my God, these pressure headaches. Oh, they're bad. I mean, if you told me a glue stick would do it, I'm gluing that thing to my head. I'd be that desperate. Plycor just applied to the head. ×3. Nodak just looked it up. It was called Head On. Not to be confused with their subsidiary for ED. Hard On. Pell 90% of my headaches are fixed by hydrating. That's all you got to do is just drink a lot of water. Speaking of which, running low. Running out of drink. Getting pretty thirsty. Running out of a drink. Well, anyway, speaking of thirsty, yeah, I won't be able to end on a light note. Well, I mean, look, there's no more murders. So, all right, I guess I will. But this will be our final story for our Crazy Bitch news segment. Yeah. How could I forget? Well, let's see. 14-year-old boy ate lunch in teacher's classroom because he had issues fitting in. Well, now the teacher's accused of drawing the curtains and raping him. Oh, well, here we go. Oh. Well. A Florida teacher, yes, is facing a litany of charges after she allegedly raped a middle school student in her classroom. The Orange County Sheriff's Office arrested Sarah Jacques, 32, on multiple counts of lewd and lascivious battery and lewd or lascivious molestation, as well as a single count of statutory rape by an authority figure. The alleged victim, now 16, spoke with deputies from the Orange County Sheriff's Office on June 10th and alleged that Jacques had actually abused him in 2023 when the then 14-year-old attended Corner Lake Middle School. Jacques and the alleged victim began having lunch together in her classroom at the start of the 2022-23 school year because he had issues fitting in and associating with the right crowd. The alleged victim told investigators that he and Jacques grew closer during these lunches, but alleged that she began to isolate him from other students over time. He also said that the two began to express physical affection for each other, but alleged that what started off as chaste hugs and kisses on the cheek, oh, you mean the face, soon grew into what the affidavit alleges was molestation. According to the affidavit, Jacques and the alleged victim would text outside of school hours. But one time at 1 a.m., the boy's mother caught them exchanging messages. friends and instructed both to stop texting, saying it was abnormal. The educator stopped texting, but also allegedly created a fake Instagram account where she would dirty talk with the alleged victim. The affidavit claims, further alleging that she wrote, "I just had sex with my husband, and it wasn't the best, but I imagined it was you." A week before spring break in 2023, the alleged victim told deputies that Jackass covered the windows of her classroom with active assailant. What? Active assailant curtains. Oh, you mean to warn them that there might be a shooter or something? That's the dumbest thing you can use to hide what you're doing. I mean, anyway, laid a pillow in the corner and had sexual intercourse with him. Jackass allegedly did not provide the boy with protection. Whoops. Jackass allegedly sexually abused the boy each day before spring break. But after the break commenced, Jackass's husband, with whom she shares a son, oh, good God, learned about his wife's alleged behavior. Subsequently, the husband posed as Jackass and contacted the teen on Jackass's secret social account. Jackass called the alleged victim from an unknown number and told the alleged victim her husband found out about their relationship and for the alleged victim to lay low because her husband was angry. Oh, you don't say. The alleged victim told deputies that in the remaining weeks of the school year, Jackass did not return to school. On June 16th, the alleged victim allegedly called Jackass on the phone in the presence of law enforcement. Okay. Jackass has not yet entered a plea, and the public defender representing her did not respond to a request for comment. She was booked into custody on June 23rd and made her first court appearance the following day. On June 25th, Jackass was released from the Orange County Detention Facility after posting bail. The principal at Corner Lake Middle School reached out to students' families after Jackass arrest and said, "There is an ongoing investigation by law enforcement and the district's Office of Professional Standards, and that this person will not be returning to campus pending the outcome of the investigation." Yeah, I guess not. If you or someone you know has been a victim of sexual abuse, text STRENGTH, that's STRENGTH, to the crisis text line at 741-741 to be connected to a certified crisis counselor. Unless they too start to isolate you and all that. If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, please contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE. That's HOPE. Oh, the numbers are 4673. Or go to RAIN with two N's .org. There you go. Oh, wow. Here's another one. Oh, yeah, that's an old story. I don't know. Let's see here. Well, let me go ahead and conclude the next one. Let's see, what's a good ending? Well, look, she had multiple. Well, no, she was wrong off from the beginning. Look, based on the mugshot alone, throw the book at her. All right, now we can go back to this other story. Alabama teacher at Christian Academy arrested, accused of having sexual relationship with minor student. An Alabama teacher was arrested and charged on allegations that she had sex with a minor student. The revelation comes amid alleged concerns that other students were targeted by the educator in a similar manner. On Friday, July 18th, North River Christian Academy, a K K-5 through 12 school confirmed that a former employee had been arrested by local law enforcement. The suspect was identified as teacher Sarah Huggins Logan, 35, by the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office. She was charged with one count of a school employee engaging in a sex act. We were made aware of the allegation earlier in the week and notified the appropriate state and local authorities. We have cooperated completely with the responsible agencies, said North River Christian Academy's statement on the matter. It continued, our first concern is for the health and welfare of our students, staff, and family. Please respect the privacy of all these parties. Contributing to rumors and suspicions profits no one and contributes only to the hardships experienced, by those impacted. Geez, here's another one. Man, that'll have all night. Anyway, on Wednesday, July 16th, the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office was informed by the parents of an underage female at the SKU that the student had been involved in a sexual relationship with Huggins. Okay, a warrant was issued for Logan's arrest after investigators conducted interviews and examined evidence. Logan is no longer employed at North River Christian Academy. The school told People magazine that she was released earlier in the week for a reason unrelated to the arrest. Well, what are the odds? The age and identity of the student have not been released. Well, of course not. Per authorities, there are concerns that Logan had additional victims. They are encouraging anyone allegedly involved in a similar relationship to come forward. They added that the school is cooperating with the investigation. North River Christian Academy described the case as heartrending for all involved. This includes especially the families directly impacted. We have prayed for them and encouraged our entire school family to hold them up in their personal prayers. This situation is easy for no one. There are only degrees of difficulty. They concluded writing, we have received an outpouring of encouragement and support from many in the extended Cole school family. We, the Charger family, will weather this storm together. Well, all right then. But again, this is another one where the mugshot alone. Yes, the mugshot. Yeah, you got to have to throw the book at her. That's the... So there you go. There is another one, but good Lord, I am out of time. So we'll table this for the next Nailsin News. And this one too, in Florida. Well, it just keeps coming up, Oh, well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to talk about it on a Nailsin News live stream. Hello, I'm diabetic. I get dry quick. Yeah, me too. I do dry out. Joe Lamont, is there an extra K and S missing from his name spelling? Well, I thought they meant like kindergarten to 12, but then it looked like S or the number 5, and they mean kindergarten and they skipped to 5th grade. I don't know. But it was this, Christian Academy type. It was a private school, and she was a teacher there, and the victim was a girl, so she plays for the other team. Joe Lamont, this is a big time story in People, not just some weird Florida or Alabama local paper. Yeah, you made the big time, lady. Big times. Pell-El. Rain like raining on the parade. Nodak, as long as it isn't a cookbook. Nodak, he's talking about Jackus, a K and an S. Oh. Well, there was a lot of Jackus going on. Joe Lamont, I meant Jackus. Okay, I get you. We're all caught up. Isn't that great? I think so. I do think so. All right. Well, the only thing left to do, I guess, is to go ahead and take a tour of those Photoshops. Now, that last story was late entering, so I didn't do any Photoshops of that one. Let's see. There we go. We'll turn that off and skippity hop over to the Photoshop and take a look at all this great stuff. So there you go. You see the thumbnail I did. So there's all the girls all together. You see, oh, they disappeared. And there's the, the logo. That's the title. That's the Nailsin News Network. Yes. Quickly, get the app. There's no app. And Nailsin News. At some time, I was finally smart enough to add live for these streams. When it's these girls individually, it won't say live. No, because it won't be. Anyway, so this was the first girl we looked at who stabbed her father for being the devil. So there we go. What would be your first clue? I know she's in a straitjacket now, but could there have been any way to foresee a problem? Could there be? Could there be? I guess perhaps we'll never know. There's the logo. Yeah, look at that. See, it's official. In. Oh, yeah, this was left over for when I was going to do other stories. This is not a trans man. No, he's a man. But I thought, no, ladies only. It's ladies' night. So maybe he'll show up in another story. So long, asshole. You're not invited. So there we go. Oh, I thought I had them individually. I guess I don't. So anyway, I put them all together for the thumbnail. And there they are. So we've got the beauty from Beauty and the Geek after she beheaded her boyfriend. Oh, yeah, her. Oh, no, that was the first. Boy, she looks even prettier here. But she was, that's Jackass. She takes the glasses off, lets her hair down. It's not bad. And then, or not Jackass, the Monty Liano or something. The other teacher, and then this disaster. This is Jackass. Yeah. So, I mean, that first picture she had was obviously a couple of years earlier. She's kind of put on some weight since then. Anyway, this is the woman who killed the other woman over the toothbrush scrubbing the toilet. Yeah. She seems really chipper and happy about the whole ordeal. Maybe she just didn't want to leave prison. She didn't have any prospects or anything. And now her room and board problems are solved. She ain't got to worry about none of that. Plus, she probably gets a cell to her own, huh? Because she's already murdered one cellmate. This was the idiot who dumped her baby on the floor, then crushed it, joked about how murdering a kid is her favorite way of birth control, and now says, I hear voices and stuff. Whatever, go to hell. And then we're back to Daddy's Girl again. Plus, there's this thing. I don't know what that, but yeah. Look, if you see that, look, I understand you're chasing, the puss. You can't help it. It's what you're meant to do on this planet. It's very powerful. But at the very least, don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep when that's in there. Yeah, you just, oh man, I'm exhausted after hitting that. Oh man, it's so good. And then next thing you know, well, it's probably a puddle of blood where your dick used to be. That kind of thing. If you're Jeez, can I still be heard? It says I can. All of a sudden, the whole thing told me, you've been disconnected. Damn it, I can't have that. Hopefully I can still be heard. Nodak says, Doug singing while drawing that to give the girls I've drawn before, to all the girls I've drawn before. Yeah. Joe Lamont, first girl looks cray-cray. Oh, definitely. Nodak, oh, God, I just made a Julio Iglesias reference. I swear to God, I'm not that old. Well, it's an iconic song, isn't it? Pell Beauty and the Headless Key. Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, I guess. Nodak, we hear you. Oh, good. So I don't know why it does. Just when I thought, man, I finally got EV Mux, and then that crap happens. I don't know what that is. Now, granted, earlier, internet just went out for a couple of minutes. I don't know. I was like, am I going to be able to do anything? But I managed to get through all the stories, plus an extra one. So I guess I got to count my blessings where I can. I can't just bitch all the time. Joe Lamont, who was that guy? Guy whose thingy was guy whose thingy was revoked and thrown on the highway. Oh, yeah. I mean, the woman's name, I remember her name, Lorena Bobbitt. Was it? Yeah, Bobbitt. That, I mean, I guess his name was Bobbitt too because they were married. Damn, I don't remember his name. Joe Lamont, imagine getting that 911 call. Yeah. She got on my penis. And she hauled ass and threw his penis into a ditch. And the police were able to locate it. And then the hospital was able to reattach it. However, when attempting to achieve erection, he said he had kind of the windsock thing going on. He tried being a comedian after that. And that didn't work out because it's like you got one joke. And then he went into porn where they reenacted the scene. I'm assuming with prosthetics at that point, provided the actual. But anyway, so he's banging this porn star who resembled his wife. And all. Anyway, that was back in the day where, it's like, Buttafuoco and all that stuff. They tried to extend their 15 minutes and that sort of thing. Eventually that kind of died off. And because now, you don't need to. Everyone gets a YouTube channel and some of these crazy girls with OnlyFans, some of them do well. Most don't. And then a couple other people hit big for some reason. Who knows? So you don't have to have been involved in some gruesome crime or something. Anyway, Pell out John Wayne Bobbitt. Oh, maybe so. Maybe that was it. John Wayne Bobbitt. And it was bobbed. But they managed to put it back up. Pell out the porn with Mr. Floppy wouldn't work was called the Karmic Doc. Whoops. So it would Mr. Floppy. Or the windsock strikes again, something like that. Yeah. And no castration required. Jeez. So, and then for a while, Lorena Bobbitt became a feminist icon. I think there was like some big feminist protest in Washington, D.C. And one of the girls either had a T-shirt or a sign and was saying that appoint Lorena Bobbitt, the Surgeon General. She's mad. Her boyfriend dumped her. What are you going to do? Joe Lamont, Gone with the Wind. Yeah, that could work. See, porn. It's a possibility. Hell, now any doc will do that for you. Yeah, I know. You could probably get government subsidies to get that removed. Well, we could sit here and talk about all the porn possibilities, but that'll have to do it. I'll visit with you again soon, and wish you all a very good night. And I got to do Wednesday comics. Damn it. Well, I'll figure that out later. But anyway, that's it for this special edition of Nailsin News Live. Jeez, I'm sorry about that. Oh, that's embarrassing. So I'm sure there'll be another, and we'll do that as well. But I guess this is the inaugural episode. How about that? So anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news. Bitches be cray cray, she cray and she look, and that's pretty cray. Extra, extra, read all about it. Crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news, crazy bitch news. Bitches be cray cray, she cray and she look, and that's pretty cray.